IVM.
Sports are the most important thing in the world, especially if your shirt cannot be cleaned. But in the meantime, if it can, turn to the Fan Garage, also known as FG. Say it together quickly with me. Fug. Fan Garage. All that you want to know about sports, especially cricket and football. Is there another sport? New episodes out on the IVM podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Alright, please note that the language and ideas presented on the show might not be suitable for everyone. If you're under 18, make sure your mom isn't around. If you're over 80, why is your mom around?
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
Okay, Cock and Bull time, the most popular show ever, according to Amit Doshi.
Why follow your auntie's advice when you can follow Cyrus Says on Facebook and Twitter to stay updated about the latest shows?
Here on Cyrus Says, I've discovered a new thing in the war between motorists and pedestrians. I represent the motorists, you represent the pedestrians. New thing that you guys have started terrorizing me with is standing in the middle of traffic and then negotiating slowly. Well, all of us suddenly realize that two people standing there ready to die, and you have to turn left, turn right, brake. The guy behind you has no idea what's going on in front, but the two people stand there like victims, smiling sheepishly, and slowly but steadily, like a really bad Ekta Kapoor show, take a long time to reach the point, okay, which is like just 17 feet away. I ask you, please, motorists aren't able to do anything. We just have a car, we can't do anything, but you can just avoid running into traffic. Is it too much to ask for? It's called Cyrus Says.
And that's what Cyrus Says.
Well, I hope I don't sound too elitist. The show, by the way, is called Cock and Bull. But I think someone should speak for the motorist. Yeah. You see, in our country, it's all about the poor or the super rich you read about on page 3. But what about the middle class guy who's driving a car? Nobody thinks about him. So we have to fight this fight for the motorist. Yeah. Because, this whole idea of civic responsibility has escaped India. England came here, I don't know what they did, taught us cricket, and started listening to Bollywood music and ran away. Chicken tikka masala, what they stole from what I remember, the Kohinoor. Perhaps in the same dish, from what I gather. But it's just, I don't understand. There is no understanding amongst the people of our societies across the country as to what role you play in civic infrastructure, like a road, or a museum, or a school, or a bathroom. Or nobody knows. They just stand there looking awkward. We are the kings of awkward. We Indians are the kings of awkward. You put us anywhere. Oh, Eiffel Tower. It's just awkward. The Japanese, he shot it from start to finish. The American, he scaled it. The French, he built it. And what happens to us? Let's move. Soaping. Sorry. What have we got on the... First, let me introduce our panel. Don't get frightened. It's the same. No change.
Yeah, I know.
No change. All right. No point in mentioning your names.
Yeah, I think not. Yeah, all right. Okay, I guess people can guess. All right. I guess the first thing we can talk about is our most favorite Satyapal Singh, BJP minister.
See, the theory of, forget evolution, even relativity, has been disproved by many scientists later. Okay, who argue that E is equal to MC square is absolute rubbish. So my point is Satyapal Singh may be more intelligent than we know.
Well,
why are we only looking at it from our perspective?
That is true. Who cares about science, man?
Yeah, science.
Yeah.
Why should you have data and conclusive points and empirical formulas that you follow when you can just make up things on the way?
And you can look back at old books and look in that and say, hey, there was nothing about this in the book.
I didn't see it personally. My grandmother didn't tell me when I was a child.
It's obviously clearly not true.
Aircrafts are mentioned in both our epics, apparently. So we invented aircrafts.
Yeah.
Then, of course, we perfected it with Air India.
My favorite is, so they're putting together a panel, right, where he wants to challenge it and have an international committee look at it so that we can take it out of our curriculum and stuff.
But the fear that he's a union minister has not escaped anybody's mind, has it?
Yeah.
Well, no, the fear that he's a moron has probably not escaped anybody's mind.
And then in a power of responsibility and a position to change people's
when he was asked to defend it, when they said that, the science community came, they drafted a letter to him or whatever saying, it'll really hamper the education and scientific temper of Indians. He had a really nice comeback where he was like, I'm not making a statement without basis. I'm not an art student. I'm like, hey man.
I'm not an art student. How dare he? Now I'm angry because I'm an art student.
Me too.
I'm an art
really
student.
upsetting. I still believe in science.
I'm an art student, honors art student who was told not to do honors. So let me tell you, this cuts me to the quick. What a lovely man Satyapal Singh is. Satyapal Singh
he's really the best, right? I mean, like,
and his name is Satya. You know, I mean, there's irony there.
You know, but I mean, like, there is never a time when I hear his name and I just don't want to laugh in his face, right? I mean, like, every time he did that, he was the guy who brought up that Kap Panchayat thing, that, you know, Kap Panchayats are good and, like, you know, we should not.
Don't change what is there.
The only person in the country who basically defended that whole Kap Panchayat system, right? This was Mr. Satyapal Singh.
What if he's right about evolution, you guys?
Well,
what if in like a few centuries we're like, they challenged
it wrong.
Yeah, they got it wrong.
But one second, my theory is the monkey comes after us. And clearly I'm right. If you look at the empirical data we just presented just now. Yeah.
This is also, you know, he was the boss of Doble.
Right.
So when all of that nonsense was going on, that
inspector.
was him. Yeah, the one who used to shut everything down.
Beat people up and all.
Yeah. So he was the guy who empowered
when he was
him.
a police commissioner,
He is the guy who basically, I mean, like, seriously, this guy annoys the crap out of me. So I actually remember shit about him. He is the guy who basically had a whorehouse running out of one of his apartments. And got caught and said that I have no idea and I have nothing to do with it. But he was also on the same day he did something against, like, you know, again, some anti-freedom thing he did at that same time. So, you know, I mean, like, he's just such an aggravating person.
Why don't we lease out some of our greater minds to the rest of the world? Put him in Tokyo, let Japan deal with him. For example, I'm just saying, you know, where people are very into science, like Germany, Japan, those kind of countries.
I think
let him challenge them
there.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I can just see 15 frustrated German scholars saying, enough! And now we will hit you! And we will demand your head! That used to be German. I don't know what it turned out to be.
Padmavati releases this weekend finally.
Listen, what I don't understand is by taking out the I, they think no one knows it's the same film.
No, that's not true. It's still banned in like 5 states.
No, but the idea from the filmmakers and Prasun Joshi, who I love, is like, we'll make it Padmavati and it's all fine.
Because he's saying now it's not about Padmavati the queen, it's an adaptation of the story of Padmavati.
But now my question is, did they go in and read up everything and call her Padmavati instead of Padmavati?
No, her name is still Padmavati.
Her name is Padmini.
Her name is Padmini,
Okay.
so it makes no difference.
These are like iconic titles.
Yeah.
So I guess it doesn't matter then. If the name is being used as
It's still
Padmini.
banned in some 5 states, and now they are appealing to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said you can't ban it. It's a law and order thing.
What I can't understand about Karni Sena is when you had the Premier Padmini car with the name attached, and the car hardly moved. Nobody came to beat us up. I mean, the car hardly moved. My mom was half the time dropping us to school and saying, "Gonna push." You know? Come on. Where was Karni Sena when we need them?
Are you guys gonna go watch it? My grandmother has told me that do not go near theatres. Do not go to a mall.
So that's a fear thing, but I think otherwise everybody wants to watch it.
No, I think you gotta watch it to show support for the filmmaker, man.
I totally hate the idea of going to watch it, but I'm doing it exactly why Amit said.
I don't want to watch it. I have no interest in the movie.
For justice, liberty, and the desire to make any crappy film you want.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Is the most
freedom
important.
to make anything you want.
Yeah.
I don't think I've enjoyed a Sanjay Leela Bhansali movie ever in my life.
Ever.
But I will go see this movie.
I think I enjoyed.
I don't think I could sit through it.
Yeah, you're right. I actually did like the kite flying movie, right?
Yes.
Yes, I did like that.
Devdas drove me to drink. It just wouldn't end.
Yeah, that
on
was,
and on. Savaria, I didn't understand what the film was about.
Oh my god, I could not understand what was going on in Savaria.
Yeah, I think Ranbir Kapoor was just given a script and a towel and said, this is it. But having said that, let's support Sanjay Leela Bhansali. He's a good human being. He makes films. He's an educated man. He's an artistic man. He likes color, verve, this, that.
Yeah.
And what do we have on the other side? So they say Sanjay Leela Bhansali is a criminal and India should throw him out. But what do we have on the other side? Miscreants, uneducated, badly dressed, ugly looking. On top of that, throwing stones, burning things, stopping buses, hitting children in the middle. I mean, so let's understand. Sanjay Leela is the evil guy, right?
Yeah.
Right? Clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder how many people are going to get like beaten up though, like over the weekend. Film theater owners or like.
Well, if the government has any, you know what, and I can't use the word, then this doesn't happen.
But we
Imagine
don't.
if this was Israel. If this was Israel.
The state is actually saying that we can't show it because it's a law and order issue. Which
it could never happen in a strong state. The Mossad would be standing there, or some police would be standing there. They shoot 2 guys, and the matter's closed.
But Gujarat, they have a special task force at all theatres that are playing the movie
to watch the film. I don't know. But we're going around in circles, we're joking about all this. But what's going to happen to our country? Someone has to stand up for equality and the right
Basic
to express yourself. It's right there in the top 10 issues in the Constitution. Right there, page 1. For God's sake.
Yeah, no, it's important.
The guy is a filmmaker making a film on a historical perspective. That's all it is. It's nothing more. This is not the reason to crusade. If they want to crusade, you can go to Kashmir and fight for India. It's right there. There's lots of issues where you can show your valor.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that generally, and I don't understand this need that everybody. It's attention seeking, right? It's all about getting attention.
It's also egoistical.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you hurt me to the, you cut my cords.
I mean, like,
dude, what?
Yeah.
What are you glorifying Johar for?
Yeah.
You think the women went
Exactly.
happily all the time? You think this is a great idea? This great idea to dishonor. Half the time you're not even winning anything.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. No, and it's so just annoyingly dumb.
There's a lot of things about women are saying, like Rajput women are claiming that if the movie is screened in their state, they will, kill themselves, burn themselves. Self-immolation, basically.
Somebody asked for Deepika Padukone's nose.
Yeah,
Talk about sexism.
Can I just
in the
say
old
this
day,
is Darwinism, man? Seriously,
Honestly,
these people should kill themselves.
Honestly, if they just ignored this movie, it would have come and gone in a month or
But
two.
what
It would have made
happened?
no difference.
Why would you ask for a nose? Generally speaking, as a sexist myself, you always look at a film star from what in Gujarati we say Agal and Pachal. You don't really look at the nose.
You're saying you should ask for other body parts.
I'm just saying, as a sexist, I'd be like, give me her best part. Okay, let's put it this way.
How would you bring it and prove it's Deepika anyway?
Kim Kardashian, you'd ask for her buttocks. You'd be like, give me her best parts. Yeah, exactly.
What will you do with the butt without her?
I don't
Without
know.
her
Why the nose?
attached?
I don't get the nose. Why? Who wants the nose? What am I going to do with the nose?
I don't think that there's practicality.
Yeah, I don't think they will do anything with it.
Young man, think of your threat before you issue it, because it should make sense. Why would you take a gloriously beautiful woman like Deepika Padukone and give me her nose? It doesn't make any sense.
I think that's the exact. Well, I mean, if you want a serious answer, I think that's the exact intent, right? You want to disfigure her.
Well, you can get another nose. I know 5 plastic surgeons in this district itself. What's wrong with him? These guys don't think it through, yaar. You want to threaten them?
I don't deny
You have to join Bollywood and write your own scripts. That's how you threaten Bollywood.
Imagine wanting
Actually, take it lower.
Imagine wanting to kill yourself over a movie by Sanjay Leela Bhansali.
Poor Sanjay Leela Bhansali. Let's take a side. It's whoever it is. Karan Johar, Rohit Shetty, whoever the hell it is.
I mean, already nothing is worth killing yourself.
Yeah,
and killing yourself in a Bollywood movie is, my God.
They are just making films.
Killing yourself
They're doing their
over any
jobs.
piece of art is dumb.
Why don't people in the Karni Sena get jobs? That's what I'm saying. This is not the work of people who have work. When you're stressed out with normal life, kids, parents, traffic, work, deadlines, you don't have time to throw stones and say, killing my honor.
Yeah.
This honor is overrated, brother.
How do people have time to do this?
I have no idea. Okay, next topic.
Did you guys see the Washington Post did a story about how the US is thinking of sending more troops to Afghanistan?
Okay.
So in one of the paragraphs it
Isn't
says...
it true that Obama has sent the most troops to Afghanistan?
Yes.
Technically?
Yes.
Word to the wise. Carry on.
Word to the wise. That's not even my point. I'm not debating the war and all.
Yeah.
But there's a paragraph in it that says, last year when Modi went to meet Trump, he said that they should stop doing this. Like, they should stop supporting Afghanistan or fighting the war in Afghanistan.
Was Trump listening?
So there's a line that says, Trump puts on an Indian accent and imitates Prime Minister Modi when he's talking about Afghanistan.
Oh, I love Trump.
I love that.
Did he really?
Yeah, there's just one. It's a long story about Afghanistan.
They don't have. It's just his point of view.
Yeah.
They don't have actual footage of that.
No, but I mean, like.
But just the thought of it is so funny because I can totally believe
as
it.
an actor, did he go for the authentic Gujarati accent or just this?
He went for the Apu accent.
The Apu accent is just a generic accent.
Well, he went for the
generic
Apu
Indian
accent.
It's not even real. It's just some strange accent. I don't get it.
It's a generic Indian accent.
Yeah,
You think
Harundi
this
V.
is what Indian guys
Bakshi,
sound.
Peter Sellers in the party. Harundi V. Bakshi, he killed everybody. He destroyed our culture in one word. Hey, buddy num num. How's it? Harundi. I don't know that name. He just made up everything. And the accent was hilarious, but it wasn't quite Indian.
Yeah.
It just was a bad accent.
It was.
I love Peter Sellers. He should have been the president of America.
But seriously, Donald Trump,
I just really want to know what
about
the
him at this
BJP,
point in
like
time.
what Modi's government is
But
thinking
okay,
about this. Like, it's so funny.
I have an answer to this. We Indians are very complex about Americans, okay, and their accents. You notice when you talk to an American, you start drawling as well.
Yeah.
The Americans say, "Yeah, what's up?" And you're like, "Yeah, what's up?" Yeah.
But not in a mocking way. In a way
Not a
that
mocking
we
way,
want
not
to
a mocking
like
way.
be like
So
them.
I think maybe he's misunderstood because maybe our people were speaking with American accents because that's our thing.
There were
when
no
we're
other
around
people
them.
there.
There's only Modi. He's only
There's
making
the
fun of Modi.
bodyguards, there's a PA, there's a guy who holds your water, and they're all talking. Hello, Mickey. Hello, Bridges. Hey, hello, Arthur. Hey, hello, Suresh. So there's a to and fro happening. There's cultural. For me, it's beautiful. That's what makes cultures great. When you bring people together from different walks of life. It's not the presidents and prime ministers. They're not that important. It's below them, the next level. And they're all, doing things. They all started hugging, apparently. Because that's like the biggie. It's the biggie. You got to hug. United Nations. United Nations. United Nations is very tiring.
What are we talking about? Wait, who's hugging who?
Imagine 182 nations, and you want to hug most of them, barring Pakistan, of course, I presume. Or maybe you do, I don't know. But yeah, that's tiring, man. For a world leader.
Exhausting.
What's going on? What's this hugging thing?
We'll take a break. I think we'll come back and discuss it in more detail.
Hi, I'm Amit Verma, the host of the weekly podcast The Seen and the Unseen. In my show, I examine the seen effects and the unintended consequences of public policy and private action. I show how policies meant to help the poor often end up hurting the poor. I've done episodes so far on demonetization, GST, surgical strikes, immigration and MRP. And I will continue my forensic assault on the truth in the weeks to come.
Catch the show every Monday on the IVM Podcast app or any other podcasting app that you prefer. Or visit seenunseen.in for all the latest updates.
All right, back here on Cock and Bull, highest rated show in the entire universe of...
Surprisingly so.
Oh, it's not a lie.
No, it's not.
Careful what you wish for.
No, we literally have tens of millions of seconds of listening happening on the show.
Tens of millions
of seconds of listening. You're a lawyer. I like it. You put it together well. Yeah. All right. I was happy for a moment there, I thought, wow, we're number one.
Well, we are...
in Athens, there is... Oh, by the way, somebody who came from Singapore and met me on the road, he said, I'm from Singapore. Well, I was walking with the dog, actually, and this guy says, I live in Singapore, but I never miss your podcast. These are small victories. It's only one person, but I like the idea when they're away from India.
Yeah.
Because it shows that, come on, the guy must be either completely desperate and lonely and probably, in that case, or, the show is not as bad as we think.
Yeah.
Or people connect.
Yeah.
I think it's because of you. You bring a lot to the show.
That's true, it's me.
Yeah, it's you.
Yeah. Sharanya says.
Cock and Bull now becomes Sharanya says. We changed the name. Please do the edit. All right, what are we talking about?
There's that ARP story.
The ARP, the 20
I honestly
MLAs.
don't get it. When I saw the headline, it said Ramnath Kovind disqualifies. I was like, who's Ramnath Kovind for a minute?
Who appointed him president?
I was like,
Who appointed him president?
Of ARP? Kejriwal.
No, who appointed Ramnath Kovind as president?
Of the country.
Yeah. Where does that come from? That comes
He's
from
the president of the country. I know, right? I was like, who's this guy? It sounds familiar.
Amit, why didn't you set this one out?
He hasn't done anything in like 6 months.
Yeah.
July, right? He became
listen.
Yeah,
What am I trying to say here? Who made him president? It goes to the Prime Minister's office, all right? So then you're from one party. Let's face it, that's the way the presidents are elected, with due respect to the office. Now, as you move on down the line, you have to see that they've given this poor Arvind Kejriwal no power. He said, you make a guy in class the monitor, and you say, okay, but you can't stop anyone, you can't punish anyone, you can't scold anyone.
Correct. But you're still the monitor.
Make sure they all do their homework.
You have a badge on.
No, make sure they all do their homework. Don't Arvind say, homework karo. Nobody listens there.
Nobody likes him also,
Chappal marega. And that's exactly what's happening. He can't control the police. He can't control any of the civic amenities that he wants. And whether it's water or everything, he has to go beg with a begging bowl and fight with the governor, fight with somebody else. So this checks and balances doesn't really work in this situation for me.
Yeah.
And now they've decided, okay, we're going to find a reason where these guys are earning money elsewhere, holding positions elsewhere, which technically, now look, if you look technically, across MLAs, MLCs and MPs in India, you will find, I'm what, 75% of them shouldn't be there?
Correct.
If we really look at the loopholes.
I would think more than that, probably.
Yeah.
So then what it looks like is a bit of a witch hunt. Let's be frank. I won't name the party. I won't name who's after him. But let's just say it's not the Congress.
Right.
Although they didn't support him at all.
Correct.
Yeah. Who can support him? He also sounds like an idiot after some time.
Yeah. Did you guys see that documentary Vice made about him? An Insignificant Man?
No, I haven't seen that.
So it's like Vice India's first documentary here. I haven't watched it only because I feel like I cannot watch it, and I don't want to change my opinion about Arvind Kejriwal. I don't want to come out of it thinking, he is significant.
See, I have an issue with people who start believing that myth in a sense, and then if you look at the personality, the cult of the personality here, he's just trying to be angry all the time. Okay, he reminds me of Rahul Bose and Al Pacino. They had a baby.
There's enough reason to be angry all the time.
Yeah, but it's always like, it's always like threatening and there's a certain body language which is irritating after some time. Now, I like my statesman to be like Winston Churchill, of course, who wasn't the greatest fan of India.
Yeah,
but the point is, he wins you over with his speeches.
Right.
There's different tempos to it.
Right.
Our statesmen, many of them are just like, they have this one character, Amitabh Bachchan as a young man, angry, I'll just go with that. And for me, after some time that wears thin, I'm like, why? Come on, give me something else. Why can't you dance?
Indian politicians, there are some good orators.
No, there are. I'm talking about Arvind.
Yeah. So between a politician who's angry about the right reasons and a politician who's very charming and will maybe avoid all the issues.
No, listen, I did an event with Praful Patel just a week back. Very charming. Completely switched gears and everything.
Correct.
Because they have that, they have that ability to not believe their own myth.
It's a PR thing. They know how to handle
fall in
press
love with this idea. Like if somebody tells you, you look very good with this expression, you stay with that. 18 Bollywood heroes have done that and have been very successful. But we can't encourage that sort of thing. So I'm saying, why can't he just loosen up? For me, he's too tight. He's wound too tight all the time. And that's why he's not able to endear himself to people.
People are connecting to...
They're not connecting. End of the day, they're connecting with who? Why did Donald Trump connect? Because he appeared natural. Natural is huge. Right or not, Amit?
Yeah, true, I guess.
But
So
of course,
unfortunate.
if you want to use silicon, who am I to protest? All right, next topic.
Yeah, okay.
Awkward moment. Everybody went, oops, why? Why do you go there? Just when you're a philosopher.
All right. Should we talk about cow tourism starting in Gujarat?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
I think it was an English error. I thought it was how tourism is starting, but apparently it's not how, it is cow.
It is cow.
Yeah.
So there is...
So let's understand. You get off at Ahmedabad airport and the guide comes to you. Hello, I'm Raju Guide. Aap dekhiye, wo hai guy. And he points to the first cow. And for the next 17 days of your trip in Gujarat,
That's what
he
a
points
safari in
to
Kenya
cows.
is, you know.
Not-
There was a giraffe or whatever. It's like, okay.
How can
I've
you
seen this
compare?
giraffe.
I've been to Kenya. All those lovely wild animals in the wild running around. You're waiting, you're watching. Oh, come on.
You know how many uses the cow has?
yes, I mean...
You know how many things the cow gives us?
Well, in the words of Owaisi, in UP,
Owaisi.
cow is mummy. And in Northeast, cow is yummy.
Okay.
Oasis is quite funny, huh?
Oh, yeah. That's,
Okay.
but I think it's okay to do cow tourism
Yeah,
because,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, doesn't
It's-
Orissa do like the olive Ridley turtle tourism?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yes, exactly the
It's the
same
same.
thing. Absolutely.
Why not?
Spot on. It's the Sharanya show
Why not?
where you actually talk more bull. Yeah.
No, but it's basically just like, touring farms and stuff like
No,
that.
but
right?
one minute. There's forget the political ramifications here. There's also animalistic ramifications.
Right.
When you have only 48 lions left in Gir, what do? Initially, it would be Gujarat tourism. Let's see the lions. Now there are 48 lions and there are lots more lions clubs. Which don't make any sense.
Okay.
So you have to go to the next animal.
Yeah.
Then there's no leopards left. You go to the next animal, the animal that excites people.
Yeah.
And then finally you're down to
Yeah,
what's
that's the
definitely
cow.
there. Nobody will touch. Nobody will harm. Live forever, for sure.
Correct.
Cow.
Correct. That's true. Yeah,
Makes
because
sense.
if you put money behind lion tourism and they
You
keep
can't.
dying,
Yeah.
it doesn't last.
It's going to go.
Your
It's going
plan
to
is
go.
a waste.
Yeah. Then
It's
you're
a
gonna have-
bad marketing plan then.
Then you're going to have what is
So
it?
sad.
What is it? Actor in Ashiki? What's his name?
Rahul
Rahul Roy dressed as a tiger or something. With the thing on top, peering from the pade. And the guy who's driving you, the guide he gives the whistle, which is the clue, and for him to jump out of the tree and go, "Arr!" And all the kids go, "Bandi, beta, bandi ko, share hai." And it's just this guy in jeans with a head of a
What are you
lion or
talking
tiger. In the old days, that's how they made films. They would give one guy a headpiece and say, okay, now you're an animal. Next thing, this guy is signed 20 films. What's next?
Republic Day is coming up.
Yes, and the reaction to Republic Day was strange. Maybe he was part of the...
Violent reaction.
So I do this every year on our TV show, which is I try to get people, I try to do these vox pops, what we call, questions to public, to ask them, especially in Mumbai, because I believe Mumbai is the least politically conscious city in the world. And I love to ask
We have so many
questions
problems.
about India on
I
Republic
just forgot
Day.
the name of the president of the country.
Yeah, okay, so who's the governor of Maharashtra, Amit?
I can't answer that question.
Oh no, I don't know.
Vijay Sagar Rao. How can you not know this
I
much?
just don't
It's
know.
very strange.
Well, it's not like they're accountable or I can see them regularly.
Yeah, and I mean...
No, the tough question is who's the
I
chief?
mean, I know Devendra Fadnavis is the CM, and that's all I know.
Wow. Do you know what his
That's all.
rival's name is? Then you'd know, something about politics.
No,
rival's
that's
name
it.
in the BJP?
Yeah. Not in the BJP.
In the
the guy who
BJP.
wears a uniform and drives his car.
Oh, you said his rival? I think it says rival's name.
I know what's going to happen to the
I was
Republic
like,
of
I was
India.
really thinking about it. You clearly know his driver's name.
Amit, do you know what Republic means?
The TV channel with Arnab Goswami?
Very good, Amit Toshi. Very good. We switch avatars. Tu comedian, main saas bahu. Unfortunately. This is the state of the affair. So what we do, we go to colleges like Sydenham or HR or any of the colleges in Bandra or Khar, and we just, take a mic and just talk to 10 kids. And we've got such ridiculous answers.
Yeah.
And poor Babasaheb Ambedkar, with all the work that he's done, nobody mentions him.
Really?
Yeah, they don't. Nobody knows. It's ridiculous. You ask normal questions: who framed the constitution? When was it framed? What does a republic mean? When did we become a republic? These simple questions. Forget who's the vice president of India. Forget who's the governor of Tamil Nadu, who's also the governor of Maharashtra. Those are slightly tougher ones.
Right. Yeah.
But they don't know. Nobody cares. Fundamental rights. Nobody cares. Duties. Nobody cares.
That kind of
Or maybe I had too much time growing up. So
Yeah, I mean, actually,
we
I
are-
get that they don't care because
they don't care.
Yeah,
See, I
they
do
just
this in
don't care.
Delhi and Cal, na, I get far better response. People are more politically active.
I think the thing is that when as somebody like me who follows the news only at its surface, where I read Twitter for news, if I don't know who the mayor of Mumbai is, even though I think every time that who's the mayor, I know this person, I Google it every time and I forget in like 5 seconds.
Because
it's because they do nothing. They're
and they
not
have no-
in.
yeah.
There's no accountability for them. We just accept that they won't exist.
When
there's
did
no
the
reason to
Samyukta
know them.
Maharashtra movement start? Which year?
I don't know.
The fight for a separate state. 1962. 1962.
62.
Yeah.
That I did know.
You did know?
Yeah, I did know that. I knew it was the 60s. I didn't know that exact.
After you answer when the person says he does not, it sounds a bit fishy. Yeah.
No, I did. I knew that. No, that was the Gujarat-Bombay fight. Moraji Desai became popular.
Fine.
I remember all that stuff.
Very good.
How many years since the Constitution now? 1950 to 2017 and 18?
67.
67.
Right?
Isn't it like the worst?
68th it becomes.
I feel like this is the year the Constitution is doing the worst. We're just trying to change everything and we're not upholding any of the
the first was a sovereign
laws we have.
secular republic. Sovereign secular.
Secular.
Sovereign as an independent from other people's authority, which is a sense of democracy in itself, and secular.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, secular is the one that is worrying all of us. Let's call a spade here. Okay, because suddenly, and I realized
actually,
that
they threw
India...
in that word socialist as well. No?
Socialist.
So
That's Nehru. That's Nehru's contribution and caused a lot of trouble. Yeah.
It is still part of the Constitution.
Nobody understands.
You can't say like, oh, this part is that.
But we have two Marxist
have to accept it as a whole.
We have two Marxist parties left because of that, but they have only 8 members each, so we're okay for now. Yeah. Marx threat is off the radar for now, may come back. But where were we?
You were discussing the first
Secular.
4 lines of the Constitution.
No, I'm saying secular is the word that's troubling all of us, and the worry is because India is very, let's face it, liberal Hindus make up most of India. And if it didn't, we'd have collapsed by now, But because we have very liberal sort of, the main community is very liberal. It is.
Yeah?
It is.
You think the majority of
The majority is very liberal,
Hindu?
or we would have destroyed this country by now.
Okay.
Trust me. There is, unfortunately now that's changing because you're polarizing people. You're forcing them to take sides, go into camps.
Yeah.
And that's just political doublespeak, which is dangerous.
Correct.
And unnecessary. We're not a homogeneous society. We can't afford that kind of thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I say that to all the girls I've dated. We're all not the same. So we have to move on.
No, there is. I was reading about this study recently that if you put a so-called liberal, a so-called conservative, and a so-called neutral person together,
And Arvind Kejriwal.
but if you put them in groups of their own types, right, and you have them discuss a single issue, right, they will always come out they'll come more polarized than they would be otherwise, and a lot of what's
Stick
happening.
to their guns is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So what happens
when you
is
have
that-
to pick a side, like you can't just be neutral. That's the problem now.
No, and it also what happens is that it makes your position even more extreme, right? So if you take a liberal position on something and you're talking to 5 liberals about it, your position moves further and further and further liberal, right?
That's why all,
So it becomes more
all
right-wing,
parties are extreme parties. There's no middle
There's a
party.
right wing in
And
everybody.
that's
That's what we're
correct.
saying.
That's why it's so dangerous that all of our intellectuals and our writers and all of
There
our
are only
people
4 of them anyway. But
No, but all of them
All 4 of them,
all of them who are participating in this conversation are so active on the Twitters of the world and the
See,
social medias.
on the
because
internet,
they're
they free
forming
their
own-
minds,
But you're forming your own bubble when you do it, right?
Yeah.
It's not these are called affinity circles, right? Where you create, you get into social circles which are similar to your own.
I want Manmohan Desai to come back to life and become the Prime Minister of India. I mean, he gave you a movie, Amar Akbar Anthony.
Exactly.
It's childish. It's silly. You can't share blood through one drip like that.
Amar Akbar Anthony is the greatest movie of all time.
And it's not connected to 3 hands, but that's not the point. It's a great film. It's a great idea. And honestly, actually, secular person, little cliche, but actually promoting secularism, which is where this country has to melt together. Otherwise, we will not survive.
There are so many stories in that movie, in that one movie.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable that
Like-
it all comes
like morals.
together.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I
There's a
think
father story.
Yeah.
Manmohan
so
Desai
much.
is one of the most underrated filmmakers.
Is he
of this-
underrated?
Yeah.
No, underrated in the
Big
sense nobody
time.
thinks of him as a great
He is a great
filmmaker.
filmmaker.
Okay, you're saying, okay, whatever, they're big hits, some of them. But his heart was in the right place. And he understood, I think...
And he stuffed story into movies, right? I mean, like, you look at a lot of Bollywood movies now, and it's like, a 3-line story. You look at a movie like you were talking about Amar Akbar Anthony, or you look at Naseeb, or you look at one of
There are
these
lots of
movies.
stories. It's
There's
like
so
super plot
much
heavy.
going on in those movies, right? But
He was my father's neighbor
really?
growing up in Ketwadi.
Oh.
Yeah, Mannu, they used to play cricket together. My dad used to show off. Unfortunately, before I got into the business, he sort of had an untimely death. But I would have happily, because I met a lot of producers in MTV.
Right.
I would have loved to be in Mannu. They said, do you remember my dad? Because I have to catch my father on this also. Father's talk.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
opened with Farooq Engineer for Polar, my uncle used to say. So you've got to be a little careful. So I was dying to meet Manmohan Desai and say, Mannu, do you remember my dad, Farooq? And then, of course, if it was like a Manmohan Desai moment,
What do you
the
say?
music, the bells would bajao in the mandir. Ding, 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 ding. And boom. Or maybe not. All right, listen, we have to go into the AMAs. We're running out of time. People are writing in saying, spectacular show. We loved it. Can you end it? All right.
Hi, I'm May, and I'm a huge fan of the indie music scene in our country. A scene that's relatively underground, even though it sometimes speaks its head overground, but there's no shortage of talent, and I get the privilege of interviewing some of the most awesome musicians on my show. I've had the likes of Euphoria, Krish Kale, Hardcore, Randolph Correa. I've had singer-songwriters, folk singers, electronic music producers, playback singers, rappers, fusion artists, instrumentalists, classical musicians, and so on. Whether mainstream or not, these people have chosen to release their original music, and these are the people currently shaping the direction in which our music scene is heading. Join me on my show every Monday and tune in to discover the unique talent coming out of India today. You can catch Made in India on your favorite podcasting app or our very own IVM podcast app. If you have any questions for Cyrus, write to us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Or you can send an email to whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
And we're hitting the AMAs in the Cock and Bull show, which is now called the...
Sharanya says.
Amit, you want your name in it?
No, I'm okay.
All right.
All right. Okay, this is a question which I saved for Sharanya from the last time. Why do people keep saying... Well, actually, no, this doesn't really work for you. But okay, I'm going to ask it anyway.
Yeah.
Why do people keep saying about their jobs, मैं ये छोड़ दूंगा, मुझे यहाँ ज़्यादा नहीं रहना, मैं इन चीज़ों के लिए नहीं बना, but then they never actually leave? Isn't it so sad?
It
people
sounds
need
more
money.
like marriage.
It's very sad.
These excuses sound more like marriage to me. Yeah, because I say that all the time, every morning, but I come back in the evening, quietly put my head down, take off my chappals, go have a bath alone. Then my wife says, take the towel out of the bed. And it's all downfall from there.
Man, that's been going on.
Why do wives shout so much?
Well, you and your
my
towel,
wife talks to me like I'm a child.
You've been complaining about your wife bitching you out about towel on the bed since I've known you.
But towel on the bed is a bad idea.
A towel on the bed it's a metaphor for everything with us. Right. I don't know what to do. Like, okay, I want the
Just
AC
stop
on.
putting
She
the
wants the
towel
AC
on the
off.
bed.
I like curtains shut. She likes curtains open. She likes windows open. Who wants air in India?
Yeah, that's
Nobody.
actually,
I mean, it doesn't make sense.
No.
It's not like we're getting the air from some other country. It's not easy. I explained it to her. And not only that, when you open my windows, you are, the families that you're looking at in the next building are not always, it's not the keeping up with the Kardashians exactly. Let me be frank here.
Okay. The next question we have is from, let's see, Rohan. We've had this question before, but let's go on again. Cyrus, your compassion towards stray animals is commendable, but where does it disappear when there is meat on your plate?
Well, I've answered this 250 times.
Yeah, we've had this question.
I have to give up meat. I'm trying
this.
to. I will one day when there's enough protein in the bloody shakers. Okay, but right now we can't digest more. We can only digest about 120 grams of liquid protein. I can't digest more. Keep sitting on the pot after that. It's not fun for animals or me.
Just ask the next question.
So if they can devise enough scientifically, I will give up everything because I need about 250, 300 grams of protein. And at a cheap rate because this government says, Archidin, where's my Archidin? I want 300 grams of protein.
Lots of beans every day.
At the same rate as Bonvita. It has to be Bonvita rate. If it's not Bonvita rate, Bonvita is like, Bonvita filled with protein. It's like 6 grams of protein. Your child is growing nowhere. There's no growth, okay? It's 6 grams of protein for which the only thing growing is their wallet. What the hell are with these child things, I've never understood. 5 grams, 6 grams, what are they going to do with that?
Okay, let's see. This is a question from Prashant. Was listening to the older episodes and the background music was more like a mysterious entry to a tarot card reader? That was the older episode. Okay, that was the older music, I think. Yeah, that was kind of weird music. Remember we did that Carnatic music that you
Yeah, that was great. Let's do that again.
So, question, is there a way to get Kunal and Cyrus's wife on for an episode?
Oh my God.
Not like an interview, but almost like one.
Just without Cyrus and Kunal, just the wives. Oh my God.
Well, no, Kunal's not married. No? So
sorry,
the idea
just
is Cyrus's wife and Kunal.
Oh.
There's no way Kunal
Cyrus
can be
is
married.
two most critical people in his
life.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, that's
two most critical people.
Oh, so we just get them to roast Cyrus in the show.
like when I've not drunk for 2 years, but my drinking days, if I tell Kunal a woman is looking at me, impossible. There's a crowded bar telling that girl is looking at me. Impossible. What is she looking at? Who cares? That's kind of answer. They just don't believe in me. I have no self-esteem. After 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, nobody looks at me. Then I'm like, is the waiter looking at me? I want to order a drink. Impossible. It's true. It just make you feel bad.
What if humans were twice as intelligent as we are today? What would we do?
I'm not a big fan of humans. You take that one. I don't know what good comes of humans. I believe in Thomas Hobbes' quote in the Leviathan, which says, we are selfish, egoistical, and accusational, and we can't change.
Okay. That's the truth of
Indians.
is subjective.
Oh, humans. Not Indians.
It's
all humans.
You can be an art student and be intelligent, guys.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly. See, you're so intelligent, you answer this in an intelligent way.
I know.
No, but I mean, like, what would happen if we had more this?
We need to have more empathy. That's what we need in the
So
world.
you think, okay.
Less intelligence, more empathy. We have to look after other people and say, okay, why hurt this guy? Why don't help that guy? Why can't your driver's son have a great education, for example? Everything has to change from our empathy point of view.
More intelligence is Black Mirror. Because you'll advance technologically or in other ways, but you won't do anything about people relationships and all of that.
I mean, like,
and technology is not necessarily a good thing.
Exactly.
Remember.
No, and I think actually Black Mirror makes the case in some ways very clearly that we actually grow stupider the more technology.
We grow stupider because we depend on the machine so much we don't think.
It's Aldous Huxley revisited for those of you who read, but except for you and me, nobody does. So there's no point giving metaphors and analogies.
Okay, the last question from Mahim Gautam. Why can't we have Cyrus sing any one of the Beatles songs at the end of every episode?
You be good to me. You made me glad when I was blue. If anyone can sing the next line, I will give you $1 million.
I do not know that song.
I knew it. As for you, my Mangalorean friend,
listen,
what a disgrace.
I know the Beatles, but you make a practice of trying to find the most obscure Beatles
Obviously,
songs.
I'm not going to ask you to sing Love Me Do. Everybody knows Love Me Do.
That's what fandom is.
You know Love Me Do, right?
Like, I'm also a fan, really. Name the song in 1964 when... That's the point.
Hey Jude.
That's what... that's the one. That's what fandom is, to be like, I know more than you.
Okay.
I'm a bigger fan.
All right.
Why do they test us so much? It's like marriage again. Damn it, how much testing can I do? I was thinking today, a thought occurred to me because somebody said they're not coming in because they're taking the car for servicing. It was a Parsi guy. And I thought for Parsis, car servicing is like your mother's birthday. Okay. Everybody stays at home. It's, you decorate the house, they give out little laddus to everybody. And namaste, call guests over. And the moment servicing is over, you drink and you party and eat well because the car is safe. We're a wonderful country. There's so many different cultures.
That is a very different culture. I don't think I've ever known anybody.
Oh, do you guys have Republic Day plans, by the way, because it's a long weekend?
Yes, I do.
What are you doing?
I'm playing poker.
Oh, I'm going on a heritage bus tour, you guys.
See, you did something really bad here.
Can you imagine? I really want to brag about it.
Like Prince of Wales Museum, Gateway of India.
It starts at Prince of Wales Museum, and then I get into a bus, and it takes you across Bombay's democracy and the governmental buildings.
A lot of people jump out of the bus because it goes really slowly. I'm telling you.
It goes really slowly. I thought because it's so boring, you want to jump off.
But is this the bus that takes you to all the important events during the freedom movement?
Yeah. It's all in that area,
Yeah.
And let me tell you one more thing. Now that you mention it, I was going to be with somebody else's wife. And now you asked me this point blank. So I can't lie because I like to tell the truth. Sorry, honey. We'll have to cancel plans. Independence Day. It's coming soon. Till. See you later. Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps. Please, we beg you. We need you. If you have any questions, write to us online. And you can mail us as well. We will answer. We have a doctor in the house called May.
And that's what Cyrus says.
He bends down to test the warm water for his bath. He comes here to quench his thirst for a hot shower and some podcasts. You can witness how he enjoys having other people talk about cool stuff in his bathroom. Indeed, it helps him with his loneliness. You can find more of his pieces on ivmpodcast.com. Your one-stop destination where you can check out the coolest Indian podcasts. Happy listening.